First at 5, it is day 2 of the trial to determine whether Georgia can continue to ban abortions as early as 6 weeks continue today.
The attorneys for both sides question physicians about pregnancy risks and when an abortion should be warranted. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates was in the courtroom. She's joining us now live with the latest.
Physicians, OBGYN psychologists, and even an ultrasound technician took to the stand to answer questions about the viability of a pregnancy and the care a pregnant woman receives. The entire group trying to determine if the state new abortion law is too restrictive or not.
Life begins at fertilization. At that time, the embryo becomes a zygote and immediately starts dividing.
The need to protect a fetus's life was on display during the second day of a trial challenging the state's new abortion law.
There is nothing that this law is telling doctors to do or not do that we haven't always done. We've always intervened when we needed to save a woman's life.
The defense and its witnesses argued the new law, which bans most abortions once a human heartbeat is detected, is in line with current medical practices. But critics say the law ends up banning most abortions in the state. And because a heartbeat can be detected as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy, many women may not even realize they're pregnant at that point.
I can think of a case in just the last few weeks where I had a woman who she came in, well, she had an appointment to come in and she couldn't make that appointment. She had childcare issues. So she ended up coming in 3 days after that, week later. And it turns out maybe she was about 6 weeks and 4 days or so, and cardiac activity was detected. And she was devastated.
And physicians say since the law doesn't go into great detail about the exceptions, they themselves are in fear of recommending or performing an abortion as a life-saving method.
My concern is that if I was in a court and it was up to a jury or a DA to determine if it was necessary, that it is not clear where that line may be and that I could be at risk of prosecution or one of my colleagues.
Now, the proceedings are still currently in progress, but is expected to wrap up in the next hour. After that, there will be a press conference by the ACLU to kind of wrap up exactly what happened during the proceedings. And of course, we'll bring you updates on that coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.